species, it is a proper dusky photo. G'day, my name is Luke and this is my wife Jen, and here are our two growing boys, Liam and Elliot. We've been fishing, boating and exploring the pristine waters of the Fraser Coast for about 10 years now. So subscribe and come join the adventure. You ready to go, mate? You two ready to go? Okay. It's a bit foggy over on the island. That was a big trip, wasn't it?
Did you get caught, Elliot?
He was hiding on the floor. Hiding down behind the coastline. It's actually blowing a little bit more than what it's meant to.
Yeah, it's actually, it's just a bit breezy in here.
I think it's just that early morning blow,
Yeah.
trying to lift this fog away. Such a good spot, folks. So Liam has taken his kayak over. We're only in about a metre of water. There's a really steep drop off. If you look that way, it's pretty better. You'll be able to see on the left hand side the sand coming into the water, and then you can see the sand under the water. That's quite shallow up there. At low tide, very, very shallow. Low tide's about 2 o'clock, so we're halfway through the tide now. So that'll pretty much all drain out. We're sitting in 80 centimetres of water, and then it gets to the dark blue there and it drops to about 6 metres really, really quickly. So quite a nice little spot. If you've got a deeper keel on your vessel or whatever, you can just sit off over on the ledge. Very safe in here. There's a little bit of coffee rock around, not too much. You can really come high and dry if you want to and just wait for high tide to pick you up again. Really safe for the kids. There is a dingo that does hang around in this area that we've noticed every few times we've been here, usually early morning, late afternoon. They seem to do their rounds in this area, so just keep an eye on the kids obviously. But a great area for the kids to play. And we're only 5 minutes away, down that way. So that's McKenzies Jetty just there. You can do a little walk up into the... Keep looking away from the camera, it's terrible. So you've got McKenzies Jetty just down here. There's a little walk that you can do up into there, and you can see the old Z-Force base. There's not much up there, but you can get a bit of an appreciation for it. There's a few information boards and things in there. And then down a little bit further, you can see another pier. That's Kingfisher Bay Resort. So this is a great stretch to, you know, if this is your first time to the Fraser Coast boating, even if you're a local, a lot of locals come over here on a good weekend. Okay folks, I'm just going to run you through how we got to where we are today, just because there's a couple of handy little tips I think. Urangan Boat Harbour. Okay, and now when you come out of the Urangan Boat Harbour, you've got a couple of choices to make if you're heading over towards vicinity Kingfisher Bay. You can go around Big Woody Island, which is probably the safer bet, all right, because it's mostly deep water, or you can come through the inside, the western side of Big Woody Island. Now I'll just move this. This here is the area to watch out for if you do decide to do that. It does get very shallow. I only recommend doing it on a high tide, or if you've got water following you, so an incoming tide, and it's about an hour after low, because it gets very shallow through that area. Okay, either way, you come around the eastern side or the western side of Big Woody, you'll get to the southern tip. Once you're down at the southern tip, come around the northern side of Picnic and Duck Island, and then you've got a clear run pretty much across to Fraser. All right, just watch this little sandbank here. I've seen a few yachties come unstuck on that. Then you've got Kingfisher, and then we're down a little bit further at North White Cliffs, and that's McKenzies Jetty down there. The other thing to watch out for, you'll notice I've got these thicker red lines. That area in there is a go slow zone. Okay, so you have to go slow through there. I see a lot of jet skiers in particular. They come out of the Urangan boat harbour and they go, right, I'm going to Kingfisher, which is straight across here, and they go at 90 k's an hour straight through the green zone. So I've seen quite a few of them do it. I've seen quite a few of them get booked. So unless you want to be $600 poorer, don't do it. Skirt around a little bit closer to the island. Here's the trip log for getting here. Just ignore that time because it's just on since I turned the motor on at the ramp, and it keeps going while we've been here for quite a while. 9.4 nautical miles. Okay, we came the inside of Big Woody. We sat on about what, max 27 knots. I know I was sitting on about 26. And we used about 8 litres of fuel, so it's a pretty close, easy trip to do. Highly recommend it, and you're nice and protected. Once you get over here, all right, not only is it beautiful, but you are well protected from southeasterly breezes. The wind you can hear in the camera right now is a southwester blowing, which is not meant to be blowing. Livio, I'm going to write a letter, a sternly wounded letter. I'm chasing all this baiting, folks. What I forgot to mention about Kingfisher Bay Resort, all right, you can see it, I don't know how well you see it on the camera, but it's just down there a few kilometres, is we quite often stop in there. There's amenities down there, toilets, okay, and there's also the Sandbar restaurant. They might have renamed it actually, I'll have to check that. I think everybody still just calls it the Sandbar, but anyway, so you can go high and dry there or just pull up on the beach, whatever, and walk up and get a takeaway pizza, or you can sit down and eat at the restaurant or something like that. Even have a fish off the pier if you want down there. So that way, if you're wanting to do a day trip and you don't want the hassle of, I know for some people having the luxury of porcelain is important. So there's that. There's also a swimming pool up there you can use with the sandbar. If you don't want to get into the salt, and there's fresh hot food, cold food, all that sort of stuff. So you can really just leave with not much packed at all from your Urangan boat harbour, shoot across within 15 minutes, park there or anywhere along here, play and have fun, and then just go down there for lunch, have lunch, and then scoot back. So really, really good option.
Elliot, what's the plan? Only 1 metre today?
Yeah.
I hope it's only 1 metre. No falling down today, okay?
Okay.
Okay, off you go, I'll follow. Go have a look at the tree. Show me. Hold it up so I can...
Come down and eat the crabs.
Ah.
They come down and eat.
Let's have a look close. Show me up to close. Oh, hang on, not that close. There. Hold still. Up a bit high. So Liam, what have you found?
We found our old fort that we made about a year ago now.
About a year.
What's that, Elliot?
About a year ago.
Oh, let's have a look.
I'm surprised it's still standing. I didn't think it was that strong.
I thought it was going to fall down a little bit down there.
Yeah. Is it buried under a bit of sand?
Yeah, but that's what we did.
There used to be a big hole in here. That's good.
We're going to get more materials because we're moving the fort.
So the boys found a fort that they made one other time we were here. Probably about a year ago. So it's just a couple of metres up on the sand dunes.
Find more crusty ones.
Elliot, look how much... Oh, is that...
Coffee rock?
No.
It's dirt. I know.
Elliot,
Oh,
look.
I made like a little overlap bit here.
Elliot,
That's an overlap bit.
crusty sand ball.
What do you got?
Coffee rock.
What do you can do with that?
We're putting it in this tie that's in the ground.
What did you want to show us?
That's inside the coffee rock.
And then this is a huge piece of coffee rock.
That's really cool.
And this is
What do you know about coffee rock?
It's just not actually a really solid rock. It's because you can crack it open really easily, like that.
And dig it open.
Mmm.
And find really big pieces
And
like I
fish
did.
like to hang around it.
And find really big pieces like I
I'm not sure what this is, but there's all this like foamy stuff in the tree.
Oh, good.
It's a little bit here. There's another bit down here. It's strange. I don't know.
So the kids are building something on Fraser Island. I think it's a cubby house or something, or a fort or something. Jen's closely supervising. We're about halfway through the run out tide. There is not much biting, so I think I'm going to do the only sensible thing that a man in my position should do right about now. So we managed to convince him to come back to the boat for a snack. This one is filthy. Let's wipe those. Are you filthy as well? Look at your hands.
Go wash them in the
Wash
water
them in
first.
the water quickly.
I
Yeah,
might
little
actually
grommets.
do it on the paddleboard.
Look at the size. An absolute Fraser Coast giant.
Give him back to
Massive.
us. He needs to go back with his
So
mummy.
what type of flathead is that, boys?
Is it something like a bobtail?
It is a bar tail. Well done. And do you know how you can tell it's a bar tail, Elliot? Yeah, it's got little bars on the tail.
It's quite a pretty tail, isn't it?
After the boys finish resurrecting their fort, and of course after my well-earned nap, we decide to head slightly further south. South of the North White Cliffs is a long stretch of mud and sand flats that reach deep into the Great Sandy Strait. Home to dozens of crab species, stingrays, dugong, an immense array of bird life and countless fish species, they are a great place to spend a day exploring. The kids absolutely love it, and you really never know what you may discover.
Giant, folks. I got to tell you though, it is a different species. It is a proper dusky flathead. Yeah.
That's the first one we've seen today.
First one we've seen today. No, he's well and truly undersized.
Is it a bit tricky walking in the mud?
Yeah.
Why did you want to come up here?
I don't know. I found both bits to the clan.
Ah. It's quite, turn it over so I can see the outside. It's really pretty, isn't it?
I just found it in the sand and then I washed it off.
Is it?
Let's not try and
Ladies and gentlemen, we've caught the sole.
solve. Okay. Oh, the camera is on.
The sole.
What?
the sole. Now this is a very interesting fish, Elliot. I'll try and lift him up so you can have a look at it. That way. Lift him up here. Right, he's wide on one side. He's very flat. What do you notice about this?
Very skinny.
What do you notice about these two things? Side.
What is that?
Sole.
Saltfish. Oh, it's a saltfish. Look.
Rightio, we're about to make the run back home. Family, what was your favourite thing today, starting with Mum?
Probably paddleboarding and the stingrays that I was able to get really close to.
Nice. Okay, we'll move on to Liam.
Fishing off the kayak and catching another fish.
Nice, got himself a nice bartail flathead. Well done, good work. Elliot, what was your favourite thing?
Finding our old fort on the cliff.
Finding your old fort on the cliff. Did you rebuild it?
Yeah.
There you go. Another action-packed day on the Fraser Coast.
And what was your favourite thing, dear?
My favourite thing was just lying down on the front deck and falling asleep while everybody else was playing.
Did you
It wasn't fishing because I didn't really catch anything. So.
Oh, okay. He did try to fish.
Yes, I did. All right, we're going home now. Now we're talking about just had a slight hiccup with a zip on a jacket. We've solved that through technical ingenuity. Ingenuity. Let's lower the trim. We don't want to take off with 80% trim.
That would end well.
I would end up with a lot of bow in the air. And I ain't meant to do that.
Uh-oh. Something does not sound right. Join me next week for a solo Fraser Island flats fishing session. And I run into my first major issue with my boat's steering system. It's making some funky noises, and I do wonder whether I'm going to make it back to the boat ramp.